splash, we were taking a bath in a muddy Newlands.
Let's burn through that.
My name's Dax.
My name's Nick.
And welcome to the Coal Room, our YouTube rugby chat show.
So this weekend was the last weekend of international rugby, and I must say I have mixed feelings.
Yeah, lots of controversial decisions cropped up. Some good matches marred by poor refereeing and poor decisions, but some of the controversial ones we kind of align with and agree different outcomes should have occurred or were. But I mean,
we might as well just start to go through them in order. So we'll start with the New Zealand controversy.
Yeah, I mean
the impediment of the French number 9 on Damien McKenzie by the referee.
Yeah, that should have been an immediate reset scrum. Sorry.
Yeah, I think interpretation of the law, the ref is interfering with play. Blow the whistle, scrum, New Zealand ball. It's not like New Zealand lose possession or anything. They could have done the move again, possibly even scored again.
But yeah, should have. I mean, when you see the initial move away from the scrum, the 9 went in the direction of the ref. The referee has to make it his prerogative to get out of the way.
Yeah.
It's not the player's prerogative to get out of the way. It's the referee's prerogative to get out of that positional situation.
Yeah.
And rightfully so. I mean, that should have been a reset scrum. I mean, fair is fair. And I mean, New Zealand got 7 points out of it.
And arguably the tide was turned.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you as a French player, you've watched that happen and the ref completely go against you.
Yeah.
Then
and the TMO also went against him. And you kind of go, but dude, like, you're the TMO. You've got the rule book in front of you. You got the best view.
Yeah.
That's reset scrum. Logic. Come on, where's the logic?
No logic.
No logic in that. And then
in Australia there were 2 controversial decisions. So we'll start with the Irish one because that was first.
Yeah.
So in the replay of that, I argued it depended on the angle. So on the camera angle that was predominantly shown on air, it looked like the player was leading with the elbow to the neck. That is a card offence. Clear, done, dusted. But the TMO showed a reverse angle, but they only showed it once, and that angle kind of hinted that actually the player was leading with his hand, and the tackler came into his elbow. So, I mean, definitely a penalty regardless, but that second angle kind of questions whether the card was warranted or not.
Yeah, I mean,
it didn't hurt Ireland.
No.
It was literally 3-3 while that player was off, evened out.
Yeah.
But I think maybe more time should have been spent on that other angle. But you know what? Can't go back and change it.
No, you can't go back and change it now, which also begs the question, are we playing a contact sport or are we wrapping all the players in too much cotton wool? I mean, fair's fair. They should have actually shown both angles. And if it was legitimate, like his hand leading to thing and the guy ran into him, penalty, fine. It's a high hit. Just give the penalty. I mean, cheapers. But to send off a player for 10 minutes for a decision that could have ultimately not gone that way.
Yeah.
I mean, you're playing a contact sport, guys. Seriously.
Collision sport.
A collision sport. A high collision sport. There we go.
Contact sport is any sport where you can touch another player, so soccer and basketball are contact sports.
Okay, the high collision sport, let's put it that way.
Yeah, collision sports, you're actively running into another player.
Yeah, and then there was the Israel-Palau.
Yes. High collision in the air, high tackle, whatever you want to call it. Tackled in the air. I mean, he legitimately contests for the ball.
He contested, but then his hand went around.
He wrapped around the player, and you can actually see on the reverse angle how once his hand wrapped, the momentum of the Irish player shifted completely.
Yeah.
Meaning that there was some force being applied.
Correct. So the referees and the TMO got that on 100% spot on.
Yeah.
Sorry, Australia.
It was a yellow card.
It was fair.
Yeah. So I don't think there's much you can argue. I mean, even the citing commission has gotten involved, and Palau is being called in for a hearing.
Yeah. So he's that player was also taken off. Yeah. So it is dangerous play. I mean, also brings to the thing: should there actually be aerial contests in rugby? I mean, they should. I mean, there was always that controversy, like fair contest in the air. Then people started jumping up to get the penalty for tackler running in and all that type of stuff. I mean, we should actually scrap that from the game, to be quite honest. If a player goes up, if another player goes up, you're not allowed to touch him. Let's make that a simple rule.
But I mean that is the rule, and that is quite simple. If the player's in the air, you can't touch him. But then it goes into this whole: can you contest for the ball?
Well, if someone goes up before you, don't go.
Well, I mean they did a trial last year where whichever player was higher is more vulnerable, and therefore, but that didn't work out either.
Yeah, that actually should come back in some way, shape, or form. Brings us to the Springbok England game. I picked up some things, you picked up some things.
Well, you can start off.
Well, the first one for me that I felt kind of favoured England a little too much was the two scrums where the English prop lost the contest, went inside, meaning he scrummed inwards, and then we were pinged for illegal scrumming. That to me is, look, I understand scrums are 50-50, but when you can see on a replay that a prop goes inwards while the other prop is scrumming straight and then getting turned inside because you've changed it on the angle, that should immediately be the illegal scrumming penalty given to South Africa, not going the way of England.
Yeah, but I think if we contextualise it a little bit, South Africa's discipline throughout the game, even leading up to those, was shocking. Penalties left, right and centre. So I think after all of that, the ref is unconsciously going to side with England being the better disciplined side.
But yeah, New Zealand refereeing a South African game.
Yeah, but at least it was a neutral ref.
Yeah, I felt look, there were some things that England got away with murder. I mean, some of the rucks where clearly there were South African players who went over the ball, an England player coming in still and contesting the ball, and then winning the turnover for us holding on to the ball. I mean, the rule states if a player has gone over the ball to protect the tackle player, a ruck is formed, and no hands are allowed on the ball.
Yeah.
And there were two instances where that was the case. South Africa got over the ball, an English player got in, contested for the ball, and won the penalty for a turnover. I mean, that needs to be seriously looked at and sorted out. And the rule clearly states, and that was not actually put into effect in that game.
But one criticism of the South African play is that we never adapted to that breakdown interpretation of the referee.
Yeah,
I mean that's something that the great teams do. New Zealand does it very well.
Our players should have been better at clearing out and all that type of thing. It was a heavy set game, and I mean, the players have to adapt. But I mean, the rules have to be definite, and the rules have to be concise. And this goes, I mean, we're now 18 months away from the World Cup.
About a year.
About a year, no, about 16, 14 months now.
September, October, so yeah, a year and a couple
about
of months.
14 months. Yeah. So,
quick math.
But at the end of this year, World Rugby has to come up with a process or something to fix the officiating for next year.
Yeah.
Like seriously, I mean, we can't have a World Cup with decisions, 50-50 decisions, that clearly have to be black or white.
Otherwise we're going to end up with
Bryce Lawrence situation.
Yeah, with South Africa versus Australia quarterfinal 2011 World Cup.
It has to be black or white. Player comes into a ruck, hands off. I mean, even the maul where they held up Sia Khaleesi, yes, there was one tackle that was legit. The second player came in with a legitimate high hit where his arm went right around Sia's shoulder and neck area. I mean, that should have been a penalty, regardless if he was the first player or the second player. I mean, that's a high hit. That should not be allowed. And I think Sabu Nkosi was also tackled in the air. Yes, the ball got lost forward, but he was clearly tackled in the air.
So I mean, this is where I kind of have to give the benefit of the doubt to the referee, because in the initial like live play, I honestly thought his foot hit the ground. He got tackled then. Yeah. In the slow-mo replay, you see he got tackled before he hit the ground. So, but remember the ref at the at that situation.
But
Doesn't have slow-mo.
Yeah, I know. But this also leads to where a TMO should actually interject into certain situations. That should have been a moment where the TMO interjected and said, I think it was Glenn, just want to inform you there was a player tackled in the air. I mean, that's legit foul. That's legit
No, it is
foul
a legitimate foul play, but then we're bringing into the whole debate about how
the TMO...
How should the TMO be, how involved, that was the word I was looking for, how involved should the TMO be in match play? And then does the referee's decision stand or not? And one of the hallmarks of rugby is what the referee says is law.
Yeah. But I mean, like, legitimate foul play should be called up and
Yes,
actually be called to the ref, and the ref decides from there or there. But I mean...
But I think right now, I mean, was last season and the season before where the TMO had so
Yeah,
much power, it got so disrupted to actual game play. And I think there's no perfect solution.
But I mean, the TMO should also adapt to the referee, how the referee plays as well. So the TMO should actually go, okay, this is how he's calling it, blah blah blah. But I mean, like a hit with a player in the air, that should be called immediately. I mean, even the assistant referee, even if he says to assistant referee on the sideline saying, hey, just let Glenn know there was a thing there, and if they use it or not, they use it.
Yeah.
Boom. But let's talk about one talking point that we were talking about before. Oh well, after the referees.
It's PTSD. Just thinking about it.
Yeah, Elton. I'm having flashbacks of all the dropped passes and the knock-ons. The kick out on the full.
He had a shocker. There's no two ways about it. Elton Yankees should not be in the Springbok setup ever. In fact, I don't think maybe he's had one or two good games, but...
He's had passable games. I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Elton has not made the leap from Super Rugby or from franchise rugby into international rugby. He can't. He just hasn't adapted to it at all.
I mean, I think the really showing point was Rusty, the coach, saying in a press conference, I will not substitute my fly half.
Yeah.
Because my fly half should be realised I've made a mistake and change.
Yeah.
The fact that with 25 minutes left to go, he was like, Elton, get the fuck off the field.
Yeah, get off.
That actually just shows you that even the coach didn't have faith in Elton.
No, and I mean, your fly half is supposed to be your pivot. He's supposed to be the guy on the field that makes the decision for the pass to go to the forwards, or the pass to go to him so he can get the backs into. I mean, poor Andre Esterhuizen, I mean, he didn't feature in the game at all. And I mean, he was supposed to be that Damien Dillende, strong ball carrier, get the ball through the break of the line. I mean, I saw him get the ball twice the entire match.
Yeah, and I think also that stems off of the forwards just weren't fronting up as well.
Yeah, I mean, the forwards had a bit of a shocker.
You really need that go forward ball from the forwards for the backline to really shine.
Yeah.
And I mean, yes, occasionally you might get one or two backline players that can shine, even when that's not the
But
case.
I mean, Elton didn't even. But I mean, the fly half in that situation should try and turn the forwards for the English. I mean, even if we're going backwards, make a decision to get the ball going over their heads, get them chasing the ball.
I think kicking in general was just off. I mean, Faf wasn't as accurate.
No, he wasn't as accurate. I mean,
before. I think it just really goes down to show that as South Africans, we're not versed in playing in the rain.
No, we're not. We're really, really not. And I mean, some hard decisions are going to need to be made for the Rugby Championship.
Well, even then, I mean, looking further ahead to the end of your tour, where we know it's going to be cold and wet.
Yeah, we need to make some decisions. I mean, Andre did add a bit of stability when he came on.
Yes.
Billy LaRue, because he understands the conditions, was
very good under the high ball.
Good under the
Kalant was also pretty good to start.
Kalant was good. I mean, he did have that one where he kicked out in the full. But I mean, he set up Jesse's try
fantastically,
which was really, really good. I mean, he was really good under a high ball. I don't think he dropped or missed a single one.
I thought he had a really good game, and I think it really comes down to LaRue has experience,
yes,
whereas Kalant doesn't.
Yeah, and I mean, Kalant must work. It must be worked in tandem with Willie.
Yeah,
he really has to, and I mean, he's got a lot to learn from Billy and vice versa. And I mean, Kalant has that potential to be that type of playmaker that Billy LaRue is. I mean, I really like to see Caleb like coming like Villy does, spread the ball wide. I mean that when he did come in and he chipped ahead, we got a really, really good try out of it.
Yeah.
Jesse Creel was another back that had a really, really good game as well. I mean, Faf was a bit off his game. I think it was
The wings, they were decent. I would say not as great as the previous two,
yeah. I mean,
but they were there.
Saboon Corsi and Apiwe Jamche, they did what they could. They showed it. I mean, defensively, the South Africans were a lot better this week.
Yes, but I mean on attack we weren't, and that's really what
Yeah,
happened. They
and I mean-
disciplined us down. We let them kick too many goals. And
Yeah, our forwards didn't front up, and I mean, it's something that we must learn before the rugby championship.
Yeah.
But anyway,
anyway,
enough of international rugby.
let's move back to Super Rugby.
Super Rugby.
I
and
was
back to
saying to
Super
Dax,
Rugby.
I feel like it's a bit of a letdown going back to Super Rugby after all of this exciting international rugby, but
Yeah.
we'll get back there.
Yeah, I mean, let's see what happens. I mean, it's nice to see take a step back from international. We've had that like thing. Now we can go back to the slow burn and and then see who else puts their hands up for the rugby championship.
Yeah,
I mean, we're going to have to look at people who's going to replace Alton. Seriously.
Okay, we'll start with the Friday, the Blues versus the Reds. So battle of the colours.
Battles of the colours. Blues haven't been that great this whole season. They have games that they should have won, they've lost. I'm going to give this one to the Reds.
The Reds haven't been great as well, eh? They've only won 4 games out of 13.
No, well, I think the same for the Blues.
Blues have won 3 out of 13.
Yeah, I'll still give it to the Reds, unfortunately. Sorry, Blues.
Yeah. Okay, then in Australia we've got the Rebels versus the Waratahs.
Ooh, Rebels at home. I'm going to give them this one.
It's going to be a tight game, I have to say. Both on the same footing, 1-7 out of 13. But the Rebels are coming off a 3-game winning streak.
Yeah, I'll give it to the Rebs.
Then Saturday morning, Highlanders versus Chiefs.
Ooh,
Highlanders.
yeah, Highlanders have got that one.
Oh no, this. Brumbies versus Hurricanes. I mean, then
Hurricanes.
how much are Hurricanes winning by? I mean,
But they don't have Bowden, unfortunately.
Yeah, but how many times this season have they shown that they don't need Bowden to win?
That's also true.
I mean, when Bowden's there, they win by more. But
Yeah.
then we move to Sunwolves versus the Bulls. Bulls.
Bulls will win that
Bulls.
one.
Yeah, I mean,
Bulls should win that one. Should.
should. Remember last year.
Yes. Should.
Should.
Supposed to.
Operative.
An operative word. Although the Sunwolves have been dangerous at home.
Here's one for you. Challenging one. Sharks versus Lions. In Durban.
Sharks versus the Lions in Durban. I want Robert de Preer to show Elton Yankees how to be a fly half. So I'm going to give it to the Sharks.
By how much?
Sharks by 40.
Oh, that's bold. I'm gonna go 9. I mean, I think the Lions have the better type 5,
But the Sharks have the better Lucy's
and I think the better back line.
and the slightly better back line.
Although I mean, Rohan is back.
Yeah, but so look at it this way. We've got, for the Sharks back line, Schroeder, de Preer, Esther Hazen, Saboon Corsi, and then they got Cohen Bosch at fullback.
Oh, he's a bit defensively frail, but yeah.
The guy has got a boot on him, and he
Yeah.
can slice through most defenses, which is proven. And I think defensively he's been a lot better this year than last year.
Yeah, but it's still a frailty.
It is a frailty. I mean,
That's why he wasn't in the Springboks.
I would say he's marginally better than Raymond Rule.
Okay, yeah. Okay, and then the last game on Sunday morning, 20 to 1 in the morning, yeah? How much are the Jaguars beating the Stormers by?
Yeah, I have no idea, but look, I want the Stormers to win this one. I'm going hard on this one. Stormers by 5.
Yeah, my head is saying Jaguars by 8. Mainly because, I mean, that injury list is exorbitant.
Yeah, I think Franz Malherbe will get some game time, which he really needs.
Yeah.
We got no Damien Willemse, but we've got Jean-Luc Duplessis,
Yes, but I
who's
mean,
really, really good.
I guess I think the Jaguars are just playing really well this year, and Stormers a bit flip of a coin, you know?
Well, the Jaguars got hammered by the Scots.
Yeah, but you know,
So
you know
it's
what
gonna
they
be-
say, never
So
corner
some of
a
those
wounded
guys-
animal.
Some of those guys are going to be tired because most of them were into the international setup.
Yeah, but I mean, you must never corner a wounded animal, eh?
No, but I'm going to give the Stormers by 5.
Okay, well, they...
The Stormers need to win one away. They do need to win one away.
Just prove that they can't play away from home.
Yeah,
Yeah,
abysmal.
I think that's it for this week.
That's it for this week. And on a note from from this weekend regarding Supersport and all that, I'm going to say racism doesn't belong in any form of media, sport, personal life, nothing. It's a no. Everybody should be accepted. Everybody should be treated equally. No bad Supersport. That's all I'm going to say about that.
I just pictured this like toddler body with the Supersport S on it, and you
Yes.
know.
No. Supersport, fix it. Seriously. Look, the thing with Ashton Williamson, Nas and all that not stemming to racism, good. I'm glad for that. And I'm glad that Nas and Nick were found to not be racist in any way. But the whole thing with regarding pay inequality and all that with Supersport, fix it.
Yeah.
Fix it. But anyway.
Anyway, like the video, helps us get out there into the world.
Yeah, comments, leave us your views, your interpretations,
Your
just
opinions.
your opinions. Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, hit the bell icon so that we can notify you when the video goes up.
Cheers. Bye.